Why? Now, Dororo can be translated to end of the road, and Do meaning temple. Also known as the Silk Road, it connects the village of Hachioji and Yokohama. In the late Edo period, it was a very active trade route. The temple was established in 1874, flourishing in the 80s. The temple quickly declined. In 1904, the Yokohama Railway was connected to, connected Hachioji and Yokohama by faster means. The birth of the railway basically made travel by foot die off. The temples were built on main roads for travelers and pilgrims to stop and patronize the religious institutions there, providing a constant source of income. The railroad caused shrines and temples in between the two stations to lose revenue, mostly because no one knew about them.
Right.
Now, the Roto experienced three incidents in 1963, 1973, and 1983. Some believe that these three occurrences led to its demise. The first one, in 1963, an 83-year-old woman in charge of maintaining the temple was murdered by a robber. Rumors say that you could hear her crying in the nearby forest because she either didn't want to die or for failing to protect the temple's money.
Wow.
Now, the temple only lasted another 13 years and the structure another 20. I'm sorry, exactly 20. 10 years later, in 1973, a fourth-year female university student had an affair with a professor at Rikyo Daya. Forgive me for the pronunciation. It's also called St. Paul's University. He was a 38-year-old 19th century British and American literature teacher, married with 2 children. Now, fraternization was frowned upon by the university, and eventually the administration learned of the relationship and started their own investigation. The 24-year-old student got pregnant and wanted the professor to divorce his wife and marry her. The professor's wife also worked at the university and became suspicious. So
he was taking his chance there.
Yeah. She found out about it and attempted suicide to try and force her husband from continuing to see the 24-year-old, which apparently worked, but he still continued to stay in contact with her. The 24-year-old had a medical condition on top of the stress she was under, moved in with her parents, and was treated for her medical issues in Tokyo, where she kept in contact with friends and family. Then she was never heard from again. On July 20th, 1973, the professor met the young girl at Shinjuku Station. He was going to take her to his country home in Hachioji. Once he got there, he strangled her to death, took her body near Dororo, and buried her in a shallow grave. Then went back to Tokyo to meet a colleague. He vaguely hinted about the murder to his colleague and asked that she say that they were together all day. He later asked several others to say the same thing, and increasingly raising suspicion. On September 6th, the bodies of the professor, his wife, and both children were found by fishermen in Shizuoka. Police assumed it was a family suicide, or he threw them off one at a time and finally jumped off himself. Police were investigating the missing student, and although no one but the professor and possibly his wife knew the truth, he had assumed his colleagues would eventually betray him. So by killing himself and the family, he was protecting them all from a lifetime of disgrace. About 7 months later, a woman's body, partially mummified, was found near Dororo. A month after that, the body was identified as the missing student. After the case was closed, local newspapers reported hearing a young woman's voice calling out from the woods, "Koko desu yo, koko ni imasu." This is translated to here, "I am here." People say her remains were begging to be found. Now, the final part of this story states that the voices can still be heard. Japan's superstition views the number 4 as unlucky. The first incident happened in 1963, the second in 1973, the temple closed in 1983. The word "shi" means death, and the word also sounds like a word "shi" meaning 4. So some believe there's a 4th body out there still waiting to be found.
Yes, there's many temples in Japan, and each has a story that could be told. And with that, we will be right back after this short break with more Ghost Talk.
In 2012, Keith Linder, after successfully obtaining a management position at a prestige healthcare company, decides the time is right for him and his girlfriend to move in together. That's putting things lightly. Weird things begin to happen within days of moving into the modern suburban home. The horrors they witnessed and desperately tried to fight off would end up putting them at the odds with members of the paranormal community and themselves. This gripping story, told from the house occupant's point of view, not only lists tales, but also includes pictures, video reenactments, commentary, and audio of the events being reported. Author Keith Linder does not ask you to believe him. He only asks you to listen. The Bothell Hell House by Keith Linder, now available on Amazon. The book, The Bothell Hell House. The author, Keith Linder. Order yours today on Amazon. Shopping, dining, beautiful lakes and rivers, and a monster? Welcome to Braxton County, West Virginia. Centrally located, Braxton County, West Virginia is the ideal place to visit. Natural beauty and recreation abound with 2 beautiful lakes for easy kayaking and canoeing, and many hiking trails. Did we mention the Flatwoods Monster? That's right. Visit Braxton County, West Virginia's Flatwoods Monster Museum and not only learn about the Flatwoods Monster, but walk in the same footsteps as the people who witnessed it. Nearly all of our attractions can be found within a few miles of Interstate 79. Visit us online at braxtonwv.org. That's braxtonwv.org. Braxton County, West Virginia. Center yourself here. Nothing feels better than a good cleanse to wash away the day. If you think that refreshes you, then experience the ultimate cleanse with Soaps by Susan. Cleansing Spiritually LLC uses only pharmaceutical-grade essential oils, all-natural shea butter, coconut oils, and vitamin E, and tailored toward the ultimate cleanse. Susan uses a skin-safe fragrance with an aroma that brings a smile to your face and takes you to that happy place within. Each bar is handcrafted and custom to order, so it not only cleanses the soul, but also matches your room's decor. Cleansing Spiritually soap makes great gifts, or you can just indulge yourself for a spiritual cleansing you'll never forget. You want some now, don't you? We thought so. Contact Susan Todd to place your custom order at facebook.com/spiritually. Don't settle for clean. Get spiritually clean at facebook.com/spiritually.
$23 past the hour. Welcome back to Ghost Talk Radio with me as your host, Shelley Robertson, and joining me is Vincent Robertson. If you just tuned in, we have been discussing international ghost accounts, setting our focus on Japan. If you missed the first half of the show, no worries. You can catch the full show archive at your leisure on Speaker, iTunes, Google Play, or iHeartRadio. Now, continuing on a little bit with Japan, they have a lot of family traditional values, rituals, and they have some superstitions as well. I cannot leave Japan for talking, before we talk about the bathroom ghosts. That's right, folks. You heard me correct. In Japanese folklore, there are, stories of ghosts that interrupt people at their most vulnerable moment. That's right, in the bathroom. There are some that reach out from inside the toilet and others that whisper from adjacent stalls. So, first up on the bathroom ghost list is, now I'm going to do my best with this, Koide no Hakanano-san. Now, that's one of Japan's most known stories, so any Japanese listeners, please forgive me on that. Hakanano of the toilet. Her original, stories, some of them may differ a little bit, but in general, Hanako is said to be the ghost of a young girl who died around World War II. She now haunts school bathrooms. She's usually described as wearing an old, out-of-date red dress and a bob haircut. She can be summoned by knocking 3 times on the 3rd stall of the 3rd floor girls' restrooms and saying, "Are you there, Hanako-san?" Now, if you notice, not only is 3 the magic number in the United States, but in a lot of legends, obviously, it's a magic number in Japan as well. Hanako is said to respond, "Yes, I am," or a ghostly hand will appear. Now, should you enter the stall at this point, it said you would be eaten by a 3-headed lizard. She is what an urban legend, and she appears in many anime TV shows. You have another one, Vincent?
Yes, Kashima Reiko, also named Teke Teke. Kashima Reiko is also a young girl. She was cut in half by a train.
Ooh.
Her legless torso is said to haunt restroom stalls and ask her visitors, "Where are my legs?"
It's not funny. Why do I want to laugh?
She asked her visitors, "Where are my legs?" The correct answer to her question is on the Mission Expressway. And the answer may save your life should you meet her. An incorrect answer will make her tear your leg off. In another version, Teke Teke takes the place of Kashima. She is said to appear within 1 month of anyone who learns of her story, which is also where they got the movie called The Ring.
And you know what?
What's that?
So by this, we should be meeting her soon.
Very soon, yes.
And you better remember how to say that, or she's going to tear your legs off. Now, that's quite gruesome, but here's one even better. And that's the Akamanto, one of Japan's most gruesome bathroom ghosts. Akamanto, or Red Cape. In other variations, her name is Aoi Manto, which means blue cape, or the Aki Kame Aoi Kami, which means red paper or blue paper. Now, the spirit is said to resemble a person completely covered by a flowing cape and a hood, wears a mask, and is said to hide an irresistibly handsome face. He is said to appear in the last stall just as a person is ready to wipe. All right. Asking either red cape or blue cape, or offers you red paper or blue paper. Now, choosing red will make the Akamanto flay your back until
A bloody death. It would be a bloody death.
Yes, it will. While choosing blue, it will make the Akamanto suffocate you. Choosing any other color will lead to you being dragged to the underground. The only way out of this is to decline his offer entirely. One last bathroom ghost we have, and here it is. The Akanami. It's a ghost looking, goblin. It's filthy and disheveled. It's said to have a long protruding tongue and is known for licking the filth off of bathtubs. Not very frightening, but not exactly friendly either, and a bit disgusting. Oh my goodness. And with that, let's move on to Germany, shall we? Today, most Germans are usually not very superstitious. Black cats, broken mirrors, or Friday the 13th doesn't faze them anymore. Nevertheless, Germany is a place where you can often feel time standing still. Town centers can take you back to the Middle Ages and dark forests